Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Our director today is John Vias. Thank you for joining us. As it happens every year after the election, Burlington's major boards are reorganizing their leadership. In the Select Board, members voted unanimously to elect Mike Runyon as the new board chair, with Joseph Morandi serving as vice chair. The appointments went off without a hitch and without much fanfare.
At this time, I'll entertain nominations for chair.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion we elect Selectman Runyon as chair.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor of
Aye.
Selectman
Aye.
Runyon? Well, just go right for it. Yeah, all right. Aye. Opposed? Abstain. 5-0-0. Unless you're abstaining. Of course you're not abstaining. 5-0-0. Chair.
The Burlington School Committee also reorganized. Martha Simon became the new chair, and Melissa Massardo was elected to the position of vice chair. To mark the start of a new configuration of the board, Superintendent of Schools Dr. Conti welcomed Jeremy Brooks, who just won a seat on the committee in the election. He also thanked former Chair Catherine Bond and former committee member Carl Faust, who lost his seat to Brooks. Here's the clip.
So before calling on committee members for nominations, I'd like to thank Catherine Bond for chairing the committee over the last year. Ms. Bond led the committee through the end of the pandemic and into what has been a transitional year. Thank you, Mrs. Bond. I'd also like to express my appreciation for Mr. Carl Foss. Mr. Foss served on the Burlington community over the last 3 very difficult years in the pandemic by serving on the school committee. I am sure he did not run for school committee believing that he would be participating through a pandemic. Communities can't work unless community members volunteer their time for the betterment of others. Thank you, Mr. Foss, for your commitment to all of Burlington's children over the last 3 years.
Members of the General Bylaw Review Committee were before the Select Board this week with possible draft rules to allow for virtual and hybrid government meetings in the future. Similar articles were considered at January's town meeting, but were withdrawn so the committee could rework them with more input from the community. The draft rules would authorize the Select Board to file a home rule petition with the state legislature, and if the legislature passed the home rule petition, Burlington Board and committees could hold hybrid meetings and even reach quorum virtually. The effect would allow Burlington to continue running boards and town meetings as it has been during the pandemic, even if the state government rescinds its pandemic-era hybrid meeting rules. Those rules are currently in effect through March of 2025. Not everyone on the board was in favor of the possibility. Here's board member Mike Espale.
I'm not really a fan of the hybrid meetings, and we've all been through the town meetings where, you know, the hybrid people can't, the people online can't hear, or we can't hear the gallery. And the town meeting form of government, this is like a 2023 technology meets 1799 form of government. So we're kind of trying to blend the two worlds that we're in, and I get it.
Who's on the General Bylaw Review Committee, said the rules would allow more people to participate in government.
A lot of it just has to do with participation and allowing different groups to be a part of government. And that's not just groups that have, gained more visibility due to the pandemic because of their immunocompromised status or other health issues, but also people with hectic work schedules, parents with young children who are having an issue finding childcare, people who travel for work. So I think this is a concern that no matter where you initially feel like you fall on this issue, participation matters.
The Burlington Town Moderator has mentioned privately in discussions with various people that continuing the process is a logistical nightmare, but we'll see how that plays out in the future. The Town of Burlington has launched a survey as part of its effort to improve the way it exchanges information with the people of the town. The survey is part of an effort to create a comprehensive communications plan for the town. The survey is expected to take about 5 to 10 minutes and asks things like how you currently get information about local government, as well as how you wish you got that information. You can find a link to the survey on the town website, burlington.org. Burlington's annual Easter egg hunt went off without a hitch last week. There was even a visit from the Easter Bunny. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris has the story.
The Easter Bunny hopped over to Simons Park to make an appearance at the Parks and Recreation's egg hunt on the evening of April 6th.
We have just under 300 people here with us today, separated into 3 different age groups, looking for candy and eggs hidden throughout Simons Park. What better place to take your photos with the Easter Bunny than in the treehouse? And families can come after they've found their eggs and candy and take their photos up here with the bunny.
The department is always happy to see a large attendance for their community events.
We love special events in general. It's really our way to give back to the community by providing free events like this one to the community as a whole. And we think that people come on this beautiful day. We got great weather, so people are here in the park enjoying the park, and they're able to partake in the egg hunt and, get some eggs. We have some activities going on behind the Visco building, and, grab a photo with the bunny.
From Simons Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
The Council on Aging was pleased to celebrate the return of its senior prom this month. BNews reporter Anthony Maytost and producer Sydney Bowles were there for the crowning of a prom king and queen.
Hey everyone, it's Anthony Maytost alongside Sydney Bowles. And Sydney, tell us where we're at right now.
We are at Cafe Escadrille for the Council on Aging Senior Prom. This is the biggest event of the year for the Council on Aging. Burlington's greatest are all here rubbing shoulders, and I hear it's going to be a lovely evening. Plus, the big event of the night, we're going to get a prom king and queen crowned.
Awesome, let's get right into it.
I asked Marge Yetman, director of the Council on Aging, what she loves about senior prom.
What's special for me, there's a couple things. Number one, I love watching their faces and just being able to give them such a lovely, magical evening. But also, not all of them had proms. And, some of them went to war and didn't get a prom, or went to small schools that didn't have prom. So it's kind of bringing a little bit of that and saying, you know what, you can have a prom at any age.
I'm here with John Tuccinati, Al Fay, and Kevin Carnell. Gentlemen, are we all right tonight? How was this fine evening?
Excellent. Everything is fine. Excellent. How can you not be?
Yep. How long have you been coming to this event?
This is about my second or third, I guess, yeah. And we used to do the Valentine's Day, took the place of that,
right.
Very, very good,
The Rotary's been doing this for quite a while. I've been doing this, we've been doing it for about 20 years. This is, I believe, the first time that we've done it here at the Cafe Escadrille. So it's a beautiful venue. We want to thank the people of the Cafe Escadrille for putting this together for us. Marge and her staff at the Senior Affairs, the Elder Affairs, and of course the Rotary Club, the advisors,
kids.
And the high school kids have been great.
The Burlington High School Interact Club was there to volunteer. Anthony spoke with Catherine Campbell, the current president, and next year's president, Anthony Saliba.
I was just really intrigued by the concept of our club motto is service above self. And so we just work a lot for community service, and I thought that was really good to participate in, so I started a few years ago.
The highlight of the night was the crowning of the prom king and queen. At first, the contestants were nervous, but then they got into the spirit. In the end, Carl and Dolores Christensen were crowned king and queen. They even shared a dance. King and queen. How does it feel to be prom king?
Sexy.
And how does the queen feel?
I'm embarrassed.
Fun night with drinking, laughing, and just being the Council on Aging.
And I hear the ravioli was fantastic.
Well, that's all from me, Anthony Matos, and
Sydney Bowles.
Signing off till next time.
You may have noticed bright blue pinwheels around town center these past few days. That's because town government and the Mama Bear Effect are recognizing April as Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Month. Here's BNews reporter Tad Stefanak with more.
1, 2, 3. You guys look amazing. Amazing.
It's April, and pinwheels are sprouting up all over Burlington.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the pinwheel represents childhood innocence and how we all want to protect that.
The Burlington-based nonprofit, the Mama Bear Effect, dedicated to raising awareness and the prevention of child sexual abuse, kicked off Child Abuse Prevention Month at the Burlington Police Station.
Whether or not we choose to see it, child abuse is not just a crime, it is a public health issue. It is a human issue that can only be addressed and resolved with commitment, consistency, courage, and ultimately love.
You may see pinwheels popping up all over town.
We'll see them scattered around town. We'll be at the fire, in front of the fire station, in front of the Burlington sign, at the Common, and everybody's yard.
Visit the Mama Bear Effect website and get your pinwheels planted.
Let's plant some pinwheels!
From the Burlington Police Station, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
Sneakerheads of Burlington rejoice. There's a new store in the Burlington Mall for the sharpest footwear around. What's even better, it's run by 3 Burlington High School alumni. Robert Paris paid them a visit.
2 years ago, BNews took a tour inside of Courtside Kicks at the Natick Mall. The store is owned by BHS graduates Keenan Wilson, Spencer Reith, and Danny Sullivan. Now, they have expanded their location to right here in town, down at the Burlington Mall.
So we have our new location in Burlington Mall that just opened up in May of 2022. So that was about a year and a couple months after our first location, the Natick Mall.
And it's been a real journey to get where we are today. The store that you actually did the first interview in isn't ours anymore. We've moved within the Natick Mall, upgrade our space. We really gave it our own look, and then we tried to emulate that as best we could over here.
Our parents had always told us, this was one of the best malls in Massachusetts and in New England. So we were really fortunate to be able to do something here, and that the whole mall and Simon's staff really believed in us to be able to open up a store and really be successful.
From shoes, clothing, and accessories, the trio is bringing in new products regularly for their customers.
We honestly always get new stuff in, from the apparel all the way to the shoes. We have the newest releases. Even though we started in the Natick Mall, we always like to have the newest stuff here as well, to have the same vibe at both locations.
And we always have people coming to both locations to find the latest and greatest releases.
We've been traveling around the U.S. as well, making sure we're finding all of these sneakers as well as all the sizes to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to get them from us. And it really has been great being able to see a lot of our customers come in and the look on their faces when they see some of these shoes that we have ranging upwards of like $5,000, $6,000.
Courtside had another surprise up their sleeves, as they'll be opening another location at Copley Place in the Back Bay area of Boston.
It's such a luxurious center, and we're really fortunate to be able to do that. We're not stopping there. We're always going to be looking forward to expand our brand and really grow it to its maximum potential.
From the Burlington Mall, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
The Red Devils baseball team has a new weapon in their arsenal thanks to a new batting cage. Reporter Tad Stefanak has more.
There's an old adage in the sport of baseball: you can't have enough hitting. Burlington High School baseball has a new weapon in its arsenal in the form of a brand new batting cage.
It's a practice resource for sure, but what it really does is allow guys to get a lot of repetition and go in and just not necessarily worry about chasing down baseballs all the way down the field. It's definitely a time saver for sure, but it also does emphasize more of a focus, I think, when the hitter is in the cage on instruction and working on specific details of their swing. They can be kind of closely watched. Yeah, there's a ton of benefit to it. It's really kind of just goes hand in hand, though, with, any kind of baseball facility.
Hey, what do you know?
So for us, it's just a huge addition. It's really a game changer.
And I know it's early. We've only used it a couple times, but it's such a noticeable difference. Like, even before game time, getting here and getting some swings in, it just goes so much more quicker. It's much more efficient, and we can get more swings, more use out of it.
Oh, actually, it's amazing. It's great. Every baseball field needs a batting cage, and it's finally put up here. Just hitting before the game in a cage, it's just such a different type of feeling. It gets you really ready for the game and just for the practice. gets you ready for the day.
Oh, I'm loving it. It's good. It's good just to take BP and not have to be on the field or ruin the field before a game. So it's definitely a big part, and we're all glad to have it this year. Just taking those extra swings, that's all you need. Definitely feel like it's going to help.
Having this batting cage here just kind of ups that level of preparedness for us. Kids are able to get here. I'll have everything set up, and we can just, get them as many swings as they need to feel comfortable before games. So I think it's going to be something that'll be a real pleasure to have for our pregame. And it's a dual cage. We have pitcher's mounds there too, so our starting pitcher before the game can get a real feel for warming up on a mound, and then in between during the game, any relief pitchers can go now warm up there. And it works both ways, the hitting and the pitching.
We're super grateful to those who were able to help us put it together, and it's been great for us. I can't wait to use it more this year.
I just want to thank everybody who got all the money together for us.
Really in general, it's a huge benefit, and really thankful for all the people that have put all the work in to make this happen. Burlington High School, the Sean Hart, our athletic director, and all the volunteers that have really made this happen. It's a long time coming, and it's great to see. It's awesome.
From the home field of Burlington Red Devils baseball, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
Sounds like a pitching machine is next, so you can see some real curveballs. The 127th Boston Marathon is April 17th, and nearly 30,000 athletes from more than 100 countries will be attempting the course. Among them will be about 20 Burlington residents, each with their own story of commitment to an ambitious goal. Andy Merlino was running his 19th Boston Marathon. He remembers the 90-degree heat in 2012 and the torrential rainstorm of 2018. And of course, he remembers 2013, the year of the marathon bombing 10 years ago. He had already finished his run and was riding the T with his wife when it was announced there had been a bombing. He says he feels real lucky to have made it out safely. Also running is Burlington resident Kylie Judge. This is her first marathon, and she's a charity runner raising $8,000 for the Tufts Medical Center. Kylie was a patient at Tufts 10 years ago after doctors identified a tumor on her spine. Doctors told her she might never walk again, but thanks to their care, she's not only walking, but tackling the notoriously difficult Boston Marathon in their honor. She says she feels grateful to be around for the full circle moment. We wish all the runners good luck on the course. The Burlington Fire Department has been hard at work lately amid multiple brush fires in Burlington and nearby communities. Fire Chief Andy Conity talked with producer Sydney Bowles about some ways to reduce the risk of fire.
Chief Conity says a combination of low humidity, high winds, and dry underbrush contributed to a brush fire that destroyed a Polk Street home last week. During times of high fire risk, the chief said, there are things we can do to reduce the risk of fire.
So you should never do outside burning under these conditions. It's too dry, it's too windy, and that's why the National Weather Service put out the red flag warning. Anybody that's thinking of doing it needs to call us. They need to get a permit for outside burning, so we will most likely deny it under these conditions. Careless disposal of smoking materials. We believe that was the cause of a couple of the recent brush fires. Unfortunately, one of them burned a house down, but fortunately it was during the day. If that had happened at night, we don't know what the outcome would have been. Any kind of open flame, any kind of smoking materials, you need to be careful in how you handle that in these conditions.
From the Burlington Fire Station, I'm Sydney Bowles.
It's shaping up to be a cooler week with some rain and some sun. Let's turn to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for the details, and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Alert Your Weather for the next 7 days. I know we have had some real summer-like weather here in the Burlington area over the past few days. We've seen temperatures in the 70s and 80s. And that's how we're going to start out our period this Friday coming up. It's going to be really nice out there, really warm, a real feel of kind of late June out there. However, thereafter, unfortunately, as we know, this type of weather is fleeting still at this time of the year, and our temperatures are going to start a pretty steady decline as we head through the rest of the week. Now, starting our period on Friday, again, our average highs at this time of the year should only be around 60. Looking at our temperature map, thereafter, we're going to see temperatures slide back down to near normal to maybe actually a couple of degrees below normal. But looking ahead, at our precipitation chances. They're looking at us to have below average precipitation again out there. So just keep in mind, folks, we really don't want anybody out there doing any outdoor burning, as the dead vegetation left over from the wintertime is so dry and it's been so warm out there. Any spark out there could ignite a pretty large fire very quickly, so bear that in mind. Now we're going to have to see how quickly a cold front comes into here on Friday. If it stays away from us a little bit longer, we could actually see these temperatures bump up into the mid to upper 80s. I know that's hard to believe that we could be seeing temperatures, approaching 90. Doesn't look like it right now, but it is going to be a very warm day again out there on Friday. Thereafter, we're going to see a cold front move through the area and some clouds and showers come into our area, and temperatures getting back down into the low 70s on Saturday, and then the upper 60s with kind of a cool easterly breeze. So if you're going to be out there and about, definitely Saturday is going to be your pick of the weekend. Now, starting out our April vacation week for many of you out there, coming up on Monday, Marathon Monday, I'm going to be seeing temperatures, I think, in the mid to upper 60s out there. Maybe a couple of showery conditions out there, a little bit cloudy, not too much sun, which is great for those runners out there. And that is going to kind of continue as we head in towards the middle to the end of the week. Next week, we're going to see the sun come back out by Wednesday, with temperatures cooling off down into the upper 50s to around 60. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On April 20th at 7 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having a home/welcome door hanger workshop. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, go to the following website. On April 22nd at 3 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a hybrid presentation called Lizzie Borden and the 40 Whacks. For more information and to register on Zoom, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. On April 29th at 7 p.m., Relay for Life is partnering with the American Cancer Society for a night of dinner, dancing, and fun. Tickets are $75 per person. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
Now it's time for our update on the latest in Burlington High School sports. Anthony Matos has the update.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos. In this weekly sports report, we are well into the spring season as Red Devil teams are battling hard this season. Burlington Unified Basketball began the season on April 12th at the Vanilla Gymnasium at BHS against the Lexington Minutemen. Let's go to the highlights.
Burlington Unified Basketball started their second season off at the Vanilla Gym on the afternoon of April 12th against the Lexington Minutemen. In the first half, the Devils put up 19 points, while the Minutemen had 14, 19-14 after one. In the second half, Burlington added another 15 points, while Lexington had 9. 34-23 was the final. Burlington.
Track team started the season April 8th with a meet against Melrose High School at Varsity Field. The girls lost by 3 points, 66-69. As for the boys team, they had a blowout victory of 104-32 over Melrose. You can check out the full results at bcattv.org/sports. The girls begin the season 0-1 and the boys are 1-0. In alumni news, BHS class of 2019 graduate Rashad Prakash, who was previously at Cornell University, will be departing on a different path as he is committed to Notre Dame to continue his athletic and academic career. We wish Rashad the best of luck with the Fighting Irish. Boys volleyball shut out Wakefield Memorial 3-0 on April 4th. They had their first loss of the season against Winchester on the 11th after losing 0-3 in the sets. The Devils had another game at the Vanilla Gymnasium against Arlington High School. Let's go to the highlights.
Boys volleyball hosted the Arlington Spy Ponders on the evening of April 13th at the Vanilla Gym. Let's go to the court. The Spy Ponders took the first set 25-20. Set score 1-0 Arlington. In the second, the set point was tied at 25. Either team had to be up by 2 to win it. Arlington grabbed the lead 27-25. Set point 2-0 Arlington. Burlington had to make a comeback in set 3 to stay alive. They managed to hold on and force a set 4 as the Devils won it 25-22. Set score Arlington 2, Burlington 1. In set 4, Arlington finished it off 25-18. Set score final, Burlington 1 and Arlington 3.
The team drops to 2-2 on the season. Girls lacrosse lost by 4, 12-16 in the home opener against Bedford High School on April 10th. The team was on the road in Lexington on April 12th where they lost 11-16. The girls are now 0-3 this season. Boys lacrosse competed in Reading on April 8th where they lost by 5, 6-11. They won their first game of the season on the 10th at Varsity Field against Bedford High School, 11-10. The team had another home game on April 12th with Lexington High School. The Devils came out this one victorious, 15-7. Burlington is now 2-2. The softball team remains undefeated at 3-0 after a one-sided affair of 8-2 against Lexington on April 10th. The Devils will be in Watertown on April 14th. As of this taping, the game is still to be played. Boys baseball was back at Francis Wyman with the Lexington High School on April 10th, where the team lost 2-12. They were in Stoneham on April 12th against the Spartans, where they fell short 2-1. Burlington is now 1-3. Girls tennis secured their first victory over Bedford 3-2 on April 7th. Burlington had another victory against Stoneham 4-1 on April 10th. The team was on the road in Watertown on April 12th, where they got a 4-1 win and moved to 3-3. Boys tennis was at Bedford High School on April 7th, where they lost 2-3 in their matches. The Devils shut out Stoneham 5-0 on April 10th, and they moved to 3-3 after a shutout victory against Watertown High School on April 12th at Rohannes Park. For more Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNewsSports. That's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
As we do every week, we close with a photo from a member of the community. This week's photo comes from Catherine Bond, and it's of a sunrise on her morning walk near her home. Thank you for sending that in, Catherine. If you want to share a photo with us of your family, friends, pets, garden, or anything you think is interesting, send it along to bcattv.org with photo of the week in the subject line. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Sydney Bowles, Tad Stefanek, Robert Paris, Peter Brown, Gretchen Carey, Anthony Matos, and John Vias. Thank you for joining us.